Hello and welcome back right here with clickmill.co. In this video, we're going to be covering we'll call it a relative of the service page. I'm going to call this a city page. I don't exactly know the name of this, but in regard to digital services or digital services, I guess, yeah, because it's a church service or like a product service. Um, in the case of digital services, you can advertise or market these nationally or globally. Now, in the case of a city page where we have someone coming locally, and this is going to be the case for most small businesses, local businesses, churches that are, traditional churches in a, just a little small geographic area or even a fairly broad geographic area. The city page is a page where you're using the keyword and you're also using the city. And this might be something akin to best plumber in Cincinnati, Ohio. And what do you have then? You have a service page, and the page is targeted to both the keyword and the location because it is in the keyword. So best plumber, Cincinnati, Ohio, that can be your title of that page. Discover the best plumbers in Cincinnati, Ohio. And then you have sort of a long form piece of content that's talking about Cincinnati, Ohio, and the issues that the drainage and the sewage and the plumbing frequently has in Cincinnati, and when the plumbing was put in Cincinnati. And here are the common types of plumbing services that are needed. It's drain repair and replacing pipes and whatever it is. And so you weave in the service with the location, and that's going to keep people for a longer time because they're actually getting an education and they're figuring out why they have the problems they have. And Google, because they're spending more time here and presumably also say emergency call today, the toilet exploded, whatever it is, people are engaging, they're hanging around for a long time. So Google's going to push you up higher and higher. Google's also going to see that unlike all of those national, I don't know if there's national plumbing sites now that I'm saying this, but the plumbing sites that try to rank nationally or internationally, because they've got one on every corner, you're speaking specifically to people in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Google's going to give you precedence. It's going to give you favor in Cincinnati, Ohio, because it wants you to speak to their specific audience in Cincinnati. So you're going to beat out the national people locally because you're speaking much more specifically. So this is what a city page does. And this is also true with, we'll say, church services. Best, well, a lot of pastors aren't going to say best. Top churches in Cincinnati, Ohio. Oh, okay. Well, 10 best churches in Cincinnati, Ohio. Best Baptist church, best, I don't know, Assembly of God church, best Protestant, yes, best Catholic, whatever all the denominations are. And you have the best one that you're aware of, and you put it in there, and then the one that you fall under, you're in there. And this is a good way. This is a type of blog structure, but this is a good way to give people information about churches in Cincinnati, Ohio, and what they can expect from each one so they can filter themselves into what they're looking for. And of course, one of them is you. So this is another way to kind of have a city page. Another example of a city page is Christian schools in, I'm in Oahu. And you have an article addressing Christian schools and the types of Christian schools you can find in Oahu. When was the first Christian school? Who was and how did it come about? What is the history of Christian education in Oahu? And, this is another way you could work that into a city page. Now, typically a city page is someone looking for a service, and then you say how that service interrelates with the city in some way. So this is how to use a city page strategically, especially if you're trying to target a very specific locality when in regard, like instead of like a whole country. So in this video, we've talked about city pages and how to use a keyword on that, and we'll continue in the very next video. God bless.